Hey everyone, and welcome back. Now today we're going to be talking about Jasmy because we're getting very, very close to January, and the reason that that's very important is because we are going to be seeing Binance release their innovation zone report update, and so I want to talk a little bit about that. We're going to get into that a little bit here later in the video, but overall, I mean, that's going to be potentially insane news given the market that we're in right now. It may not be the best timing for something like that to happen. Like a month ago would have been fantastic, but we can't always pick when things like that happen. But anyway, let's go on ahead, dive right in, check out all the things that are going on. We can see Jasmy down 5% just today. The week also not looking particularly great, down almost 10%. And then the month, we actually still are positive on the month at 13.6%. So things looking pretty good for Jasmy overall. If we do look at the chart, we can kind of see something similar to that. We've seen a really nice move to the upside. And then we have basically been following kind of this trend line to the downside. We've been unable to break it. As we can see, if we zoom in a little bit here, we can see that we're kind of bouncing on this line of support. We've seen it a couple times before here. And based on kind of what happens here, potentially I was looking at the possibility of maybe there being a wedge forming like this. Obviously we've broken through that. So that is invalidated. So we'll just get rid of that. But we can see still a possibility that we have a wedge showing up here, just using this level of support. If we do bounce off of this support, again, we're getting very close to the end of this wedge here. And so we could potentially be hopefully seeing a breakout to the upside and moving further up. But again, given the market that we're seeing right now, anything could happen. Obviously things looking a little bit, maybe not bearish, but things just still kind of cooling off, consolidating a little bit. We've seen Bitcoin kind of continue to move lower, a lot of that type of stuff. I do still think in 2025, we'll see some really bullish things happening in the overall market, but it just, at least right now, the market has cooled down pretty strongly. I will say it would be really nice to hold this level of support, because if we don't, we're probably going to be back below 3 cents again. And we spent so long in the 2 cent range. I really don't want to see that continue to happen. But obviously, things happen when they happen, and we'll just kind of have to figure out how things look as we kind of continue on through. But overall, I mean, we could potentially be seeing this price breakout, especially as we are forming this wedge. We can see this price level has been held on multiple different points. The only time we've seen it kind of wick below that is we did see a momentary wick on December 20th, where it came right back up into this wedge level. So things looking pretty good from that perspective, I would say. Overall, though, I mean, the Jasmy chart's still looking decent, right? I mean, if we zoom out here, we can see, we're holding levels basically above where we've been since like the middle of June. And even then we were only up there for a momentary period of time. So definitely some strong price action holding here, at least so far. If we do break down, that would be a little bit bad, but not the end of the world, of course. Obviously we can see moves up at any period of time. We will get into the news that could potentially spark that here in a second. But before that, if you are interested in trading Jasmy or Bitcoin or Ethereum or anything for that matter, feel free to use my link in the description below for BTCC. I am still working with them. They are still doing that 10% bonus on first time deposits, which in my opinion is a fantastic deal. This is in addition to their standard up to $10,055 in bonuses per user, but this is essentially guaranteed, this 10% bonus. So really good idea if that is something that you're looking to, if you're looking to find a new exchange or a secondary exchange, things like that. Really great option here. They've been around for 13 years, so they're not going to be one of those here today, gone tomorrow type of exchanges. This is now, I think, their 5th or 6th cycle. So they've been around for a minute. Also, they have 300 plus crypto futures. So anything you're looking to trade, they probably have. They also do up to 500x leverage. So again, I would strongly discourage you using leverage this high, just because at that point, I would say it's pretty much just gambling. But if for whatever reason you have a strategy that works or whatever, you can use up to that 500x leverage. Also, no VPN or KYC necessary if that is something that's important to you. So moving on, I want to focus on this Binance Innovation Zone listing, because we've been kind of waiting for this for a very long time. If we go back and we look at kind of if you just Google on Twitter, Binance Innovation Zone, people have been talking about it basically all year. People are constantly waiting for an Innovation Zone update where Jasmy is hopefully gets removed from that. If we look at this secondary post, we can see that Binance added Jasmy to the Innovation Zone update back in May 9th of 2023. So it's been there for getting close to 2 years, over a year and a half at this point. So I think that a lot of the community, the Jasmy community at least, is very much come on, let's move this along. Are they ever going to leave the innovation zone? Who knows, right? I think in the past 2 years, Jasmy has seen a decent bit of development here. And so regardless of whatever Binance is wanting to do, as far as like whether they keep him there or not, a little bit of guidance as far as like maybe how long they could be on there, a lot of that type of stuff. I know they usually don't do that type of thing, but it would be useful at least to kind of figure out where Jasmy sits in that. Overall though, I do think Jasmy is looking pretty good as far as like the value that it's delivering, the tech improvements that it's making, a lot of this type of stuff. And so as long as they continue down that path, even if it doesn't happen in January, maybe it happens in 2025, hopefully it happens in 2025. I would think probably if it's not going to happen in 2025, who knows when it's going to happen. But overall, I mean, I think that would be a good time for Jasmy overall. And to be completely honest, it might be better for them to be pulled off the innovation zone update in February, March, April, May, right? I mean, right now the market is looking a little bit shaky. Not that that really has anything to do fundamentally with Jasmy, but having some bullish news like this happen in more of an uptrend is definitely something that is far better on the price than having something drop like this when everybody's super bearish, and it's not going to impact the price too much. And so overall, that is something to consider as well. Could be potentially a silver lining if it doesn't happen in January, but we are only about a day away though, and I do think it is possible that we see something like that happen. Again, there's no guarantees in life. If you've been in crypto for any amount of time, you already know this, but it is definitely a possibility that we could look at. Also, I've seen a lot of people hoping for, when Jasmy gets removed from the innovation zone, they also get listed on Binance as well. If that does happen, obviously we are going to see a huge move up as well, just because every time we see something get listed on a major exchange, there is a bit of a pump that follows after that. And so obviously a lot of different things going on here. We'll have to see, right? I mean, I'm not sure exactly what's going to happen as far as when Jasmy gets listed and why and for what, all that type of stuff. Even if they get listed on Binance, if they get all this different type of stuff, it's outside of basically all of our control. All we can do is basically just keeping up with all of the Jasmy updates, all the things that the Jasmy team is doing, and making sure that they are delivering on the vision that they promised, because that's ultimately what matters, right? I mean, even if Jasmy stays on the Binance innovation zone for forever, which won't happen, but even if it does, but Jasmy is able to deliver on the value and the vision that they've promised, that's what really matters, right? And so ultimately, we just need to keep our sights on that, make sure that we're not getting distracted by some of these, fairly semantic things that happen kind of in between now and then. Of course, obviously, it would help with price for sure. And in a downturn like this, especially when we're trying to hold a key level of support, anything helps. But overall, we just have to kind of keep our eye on the larger target, which is making sure that Jasmy is developing and delivering value for people in the long term. So anyway, hopefully you found the information in this video useful. If you did, please do give me a like and subscribe, because it really, really does help me out. Also, if you have any comments, questions, concerns, thoughts, whatever, just feel free to drop those in the comment section below. I do try to read and respond to all of those. So if you have anything you want me to see, that'd be a great place to do that. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next video.